Go ahead. So you're from the Peterborough chapter?
I'm from the Peterborough chapter. We're an overdose prevention group and we save lives. So that means folks who are using illegal substances in the streets and in back alleys and in businesses' front doors, instead of doing that, they come hang out with us for a couple hours. And instead of having dirty needles in the streets and having dirty needles, you know, in public parks, we have sharp spins that we put them all in and take them safely away to be disposed of. So instead of folks causing public disturbances as well by wandering around intoxicated and, you know, doing whatever folks do that causes problems, they are with us, not causing problems. You can even ask the Peterborough Police Services about how things are on the nights that we're running. There's less calls they have to respond to, less overdoses, less public disturbances, less dirty needles, all that stuff.
And again, educate me on this because, as I say, this is new to me. But I mean, is Peterborough a sanctioned or unsanctioned site?
We are an unsanctioned site in Peterborough.
You're unsanctioned?
Well, unsanctioned in the sense that we move around and set up in parking lots, but not unsanctioned in the sense that we are not allowed to be doing this. Well, there's an understanding we have that...
So in other words, you went through the paperwork to get it?
No, we didn't have to go through the paperwork because Peterborough has different zoning laws.
No, but I mean, like, you have to do it, from what I understand, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but from my understanding, you have to get it provincially or federally. You have to apply for this.
That would be a question for an organizational founder. I just work the site.
Yeah. What, can I look in here?
You can look in here. There's just a couple tables and chairs.
So what happens? Is this where it happens?
This is where we're sitting tonight.
No, but I mean, is this where stuff happens though? Like, is this because you brought this to educate people?
Information session, yeah.
And that's what it means. So this is what it would look like?
This is how we set up. Hey buddy, we've got Pete Fisher from the paper here if you want to.
If you want to.
I'm here. We're live as well.
Cool.
Thanks.
I'm not live, I'm just recording.
Okay. So, can I ask why you're in the tent?
Because she said I could.
Oh, okay.
He said he wanted to figure out what we were doing and take
We
a
don't
look.
have anyone using the space.
No,
do we?
No.
We're just running an information session, right?
Yeah,
And that's all
okay.
we have here. So it's just like our information setup of like a table to sit at and some chairs so that we don't get rained on if it rains.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I don't know. I think the way anybody would set up if they were going to chat with folks in the park on a night it might rain.
Absolutely. It's supposed to downpour tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you'll be going in, and why? So if I can, now that I have somebody, why so secretive on the locations? And I do believe I understand this, but I mean, if you can explain why.
Well, if you look through the comments of some of the articles, you can see folks threatening to show up and harass or make our service users very uncomfortable. And we want to protect our service users' identity from that, so only our service users will know where we are.
What about though going the right way? Like, I shouldn't say the right way, but what about going through? Because from what I understand, you're supposed to go through like application process, and there was one of the comments, like you say, there was a comment on there that says that it takes up to 3 years.
Yep, it takes years to get a CTS opened, and people are.
It took 6 in Peterborough.
It took 6 in Peterborough.
So Peterborough does have theirs. So it is.
It's a
sanctioned
CTS.
one.
It's a consumption treatment service.
Yeah.
So they offer consumption services, and
But it's a sanctioned one.
Yes.
And that's what you were saying. You were saying.
But
it
also,
isn't.
they did not get government funding to do that.
Didn't say anything about funding, but it just said you said it wasn't a sanction.
The
I'm
funding
not
is
sure.
almost
I
as
don't-
pertinent as the sanction, actually.
I just
What's
work.
that?
I
You
don't.
can't get the sanction without the funding.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So sorry, what was your question before about location and secrecy of location?
Yeah, but you explained that, like,
Okay.
just because of the so that's
There's
cool.
a risk to the folks who use the space, but there's a risk to us and my staff. I'm the founder. I'm Makwa.
From Peterborough.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Negotiating Peterborough.
Okay. Yeah. No. Okay. I think that's all I need.
I've had my staff assaulted. I've had them accosted for.
And not by our service users.
No, by
Never
concerned
by our
community
service
members
users,
and
by community
vigilantes.
members.
I think
Yeah.
one of the things that concerns people here, and I think one of the things, and maybe not, but
We were invited here. We were asked to
we
come
were asked
here.
to come here.
You were invited to the park.
Pardon? No, like we were asked to come and collaborate with this community.
Oh yeah, no,
Because
I'm not saying
people
that.
are
no.
dying today, right
Yeah.
now, and it
People
would
have
be
already
years before a consumption and treatment
So my
service would
question would
open.
be, wouldn't it be prudent? When did you guys apply? How long did it take you?
Pardon?
How
6
long-
years in Peterborough.
So wouldn't it
to
be
get
prudent for the people that want to do this here to apply?
Individuals cannot apply.
For it? Who has to apply?
It
Ministry
has
of
to be
Health.
done through Health Canada and through proper channels, with consultation with the health unit, with police service, with different
If-
addiction services in that area.
So
You
that'd be
can't
good.
have an individual person that steps up and says, I'm going to run a CTS. The government has to do it.
So that'd be good to get the initiative going for that, I would think.
Yeah, there has to be buy-in from the community. There has to be buy-in from organizations.
Town
and-
council in particular has to agree to it first before anything will be done. But people are dying today, right now.
Totally, I don't think anybody would disagree with that. The only thing I think people might disagree with is that it would be nice if this was done through the process, as
Well,
opposed
sure,
to say,
when we get a legal
As
No,
opposed-
no, I just want to
Okay, yeah.
reiterate that no site hasn't started without being unsanctioned first. All the sanctioned sites start because they started off unsanctioned.
okay,
Moss Park, there's numerous other.
Insight in
Yeah.
Vancouver,
Yeah.
Vancouver Drug Users Network, they all
Okay.
started as unsanctioned sites and became sanctioned through time.
Okay.
The other thing is, I
In
don't
those
want to
processes.
wait 3 years and watch all my friends die in the process.
We just did that in Peterborough.
We did that in Peterborough, and
Yep.
it sucked.
yep, oh, for sure. So is this the answer?
It's
Yeah. I mean,
one of
it's
many
one of
answers.
them.
There can't be cookie cutter solutions.
It's going to be different every time, and the thing is, as long as people are dying, I feel a responsibility to my community to step in and do something. It's my city council in Peterborough did not save us. What saved us was my friends and I going out in the street and actually helping people.
But is this a Band-Aid solution?
They
Yes,
are all Band-Aid
they're all Band-Aid
solutions.
solutions.
So what is the solution?
The solution is like, we want to be more like a Nordic model, but we lack the infrastructure. We don't have universal childcare. We don't have universal basic income. We don't have those things. Yes, we have the healthcare system that we have, which is also struggling, which is not keeping up with the needs and the demands of our community. My friends have been dying in tents for years. My mother died to this crisis in 2014. I'm at risk of dying. I'm a person who uses drugs.
Both my folks died in this crisis. Both of
That's
them.
why we show up. That's
My
why we do
godmother
this.
too.
Well,
I lost a whole generation of my family to this crisis. I'm not letting my friends die to it too. And until the government steps up and actually does something to save people's lives, I'll do what I have to keep people safe.
Cobourg needs safer supply, like Negotiate and Peterborough has. Like that, even though we've had, and it was originally only supposed to be for 10 people, now we've upped it to 50 people. It is still not enough. It is not sufficient. We know the program was supposed to end this month, and it's been extended because people realize the need for it. People are going to use drugs no matter what. And people can make all kinds of accusations about our group and our organization and what we do, but ultimately our goal is to save people's lives.
Here's the other thing I'd like you to consider. Think about when you were a teenager and when you started drinking. Where did you go to drink? You went to under bridges, you went to public parks, you went to places where if nobody knew where you were and something happened, you would be dead. Except you might have had one of those like cool friends' parents who said, I know I can't stop you from drinking, but I'd rather you do it at the house. Guess what you were doing in that moment? You were using an illegal substance in an unsanctioned supervised consumption site. And you are alive today partially
Bars are
because
consumption
of it.
sites.
Bars are consumption
the ironic
sites.
thing, I will say, the ironic thing was, if they were doing the drugs here, crystal meth or whatever, like here, and I was drinking there, I'd get charged with drinking there where they could do this legally there.
There's a lot of differences in power and privilege there. I don't think that it's a fair analysis.
I don't,
I
I'm not
also
saying
don't
it's
think
fair or
it's
not.
entirely
I'm just saying
accurate.
it's,
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that's accurate.
I wouldn't say
either.
that's accurate.
well, you wouldn't say what's accurate.
That somebody smoking crystal meth would not be charged and a person drinking in public would be charged. Both people would be charged in that situation. We have seen it happen.
It's not what the federal government says.
Well, that's what we've seen.
That's not what, because I believe that's what, you correct me on this one, but I
Pardon?
mean, I believe it is small amounts of crystal meth is allowed to
personal
be.
use. You're
Yeah.
allowed
Personal use, that doesn't
personal
mean the
use.
cops
So
have-
in Ontario, we don't have decriminalization the same way like BC, for example, does on hard drugs right now.
Yeah.
But what our police force has done has taken a harm reduction approach. So they are not penalizing people for being addicted to drugs and having to keep small quantities on them.
Which goes back to my statement.
And in Peterborough, we've even had judges take more progressive approaches to people who are dealing to support their habits.
Yeah. Which goes back to my statement.
However,
Also-
we have still seen this happen. Just because it's in the law doesn't mean this is actually how it's being done. Legally, cops don't even have to know the law. Have you looked into that court ruling? You should. It's quite interesting.
Okay. Anything else? Because I don't want to miss anything. Anything else?
No, I'm good. I just I'm just making sure my staff's covered and
Absolutely.
that everybody's comfortable and everybody's
Thanks
being
for
safe.
saving
And
my ass, buddy.
No. Can I get your name?
yeah, no, there's only room for one, and they're gonna be like, you have your phone. Okay, cool.
Are you still taking photos?
Yeah.
I'm guessing they're filming. We should just assume that they were filming.
I'll stand in front of her friends so we don't get too good a shot.
Hello? 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 Hello?
I would appreciate it if you stopped, please.
I know.
Really disturbing and it's ugly.
Hello?
What's your problem with it?
You can have my face, that's fine.
What's that?
You can have my face, that's fine. Just our friends are asking you to stop, so I'm gonna stand here until you
But they don't have to stand there.
Fuck you.
Alright, well, we're in between them. Are you having fun? I'm having fun. This is so much fun.
You're going to get tired more than I will.
Okay.
So, we have someone in
This
the
is-
use the tent, and
So this is what I get a kick out of, if I can ask now.
is trying
Okay.
to film them.
You didn't tell me that they were using the tent. You said that was just for educational
That
purposes.
was the plan.
We're sitting in the
We
tent.
didn't know they planned on using the
Okay.
tent.
But nobody told me that. If you would have told me that, it would have been a lot more comfortable. This person that you said, that she said that she was just, this was just here for educational purposes, not for use.
That was the plan.
I also just disclosed that I'm a person who uses drugs. We're people who use drugs.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't touch. Remember, can't touch.
Oh, I'm not touching you.
I know.
Am I touching you?
No.
Oh my god. This is like the pinnacle of pettiness for me.
I know. It is wild.
Well, our
I do
friends
find
asked you
it
to
sad
stop
that this
recording.
is your
so.
response to.
It's a public park, though.
Okay.
I know, but
That's
this
fine.
is your public response. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, are you
It
still
is-
on live, buddy?
I am.
Oh, that's great.
It is cool.
Yeah, we've done this with our own city, so we
Oh, do you?
understand
So
how
you
to-
guys are used to it.
We know how to work.
Yeah.